guys are doing so super well today, living your best life as best as you can during these times at least, staying hydrated, checking in with your friends, your family, your heart, and your mind above all things. My name is Janae, and I typically post home decor and lifestyle videos right here on the tube, and today we are actually staying with that because I'm going to be doing a plant haul. Only getting this jazzed because a lot of you guys have asked to see a plant haul since I moved into my new apartment, and that is finally happening. And just so you guys know, a lot of these plants I actually had in New York City, the same exact type, but I did not bring those all the way over here to LA. Considering I moved with 2 suitcases, that was not gonna happen. But I did purchase a lot of the same types of plants, and then even took a little risk and got some things I've never had before. But before we jump into today's video, I do want to give a major shout out, hallelujah, thank you to today's sponsor, which wouldn't happen if not for you guys. So thank you to y'all first and foremost. And secondly, thank you to Herbal Essences for sponsoring today's video. I'm really excited to tell you guys all about their new product line, which we will jump into that a little bit later. But for now, let's do this plant tour, plant haul. I want to go over a few important things. One, there is no such thing as having a green thumb. People aren't born with the ability to keep a plant alive. It's okay if you have killed many in the past, if you are a mere murderer, or if you've never had one before. Do not let anything in this video intimidate you. Just start small and start somewhere. When you bring a plant home for the first time, I know it may be tempting to take it out of that plastic pot and put it into a cute little planter. For once, my laziness is paying off. It is better to just keep your new plants in the plastic nursery pot that it comes in. It is adjusting to a new environment, 1. 2, it hasn't outgrown this yet. So there's no need to like shock your plant and take it out of the plastic planter. You can leave it in there, and if it doesn't fit into a pot that you like perfectly, a lot of times I just cut the top little rim right here, and that saves me a little bit of space, and I usually can get the plant in the pot easily when I do that. A lot of people are afraid that when they get a plant, they're gonna neglect it too much, and that is what's gonna cause their plant to, you know, topple over. But most of the time, plants are out here dying in people's homes due to over watering. Just like if we were to sit in soaking water, we would get all pruny and disgusting, and it would just be a no. Plants are the same way. They don't want to sit in soaking water. The best advice I have for avoiding overwatering your plant is pour water over the soil evenly until it drains out the bottom. Once it drains out the bottom, you'll see the water coming out. That's when you know it's time to droop, boop, 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 rein it in. To prevent yourself from watering too frequently, the best thing you could do, the absolute best thing you can do, is to get a little bit dirty and just take your finger and stick it in the top 2 inches of the soil of your plant. And if your finger comes out dry, you are Gucci, water that baby. But if your finger comes out damp, that means that your plant is fine and you can give it some space. Just let it be. Oh, I brought you guys in. Is this a little bit better? A little bit more intimate? Let's do this plant haul. We're gonna haul it out.
Wow, I'm really glad I did not pursue a career in music.
The first one you guys have already seen a sneak peek of because it's just like right here. But that is this ZZ plant, and the best way to remember this plant is it's an easy ZZ. But this plant is great for a beginner plant, a starter plant, because it is still stunning, but it requires very little work. The more you do, the less it likes you. So do less with this one. And it likes to get completely dried out before rewatering. Honestly, it's okay if you forget it. It can endure anything. And then when it comes to lighting, this plant is also great because you can place it almost in any light condition except for direct bright light that will burn its leaves. Our next plant, I'm just gonna go by what's easiest for me to grab because I am sitting on the floor and getting up isn't like what it used to be. But the next plant is this prayer plant. Ooh, isn't she cute? She is flexing. I think it might go like this at night and then during the day it opens up. I can't really remember. I should know that. But that's why it's called the prayer plant, because it kind of prays up and comes down. When the praises go up. If you know the next line to that song, let me know down below. This plant really likes humidity. Definitely try and mist its leaves or keep it near other plants because that helps produce some humidity and it does well in those conditions. Or if you want to go all out, you can get a humidifier to keep nearby. The prayer plant likes bright, indirect light, pretty much just any well-lit area, but it's not direct light where its leaves are gonna get burnt because they are very thin and very fragile. Okay, before we jump into the rest of this plant haul, I want to tell you guys some exciting news about today's sponsor that I think you're really gonna like. They are taking a very active step towards the preservation of the biodiversity of plants. And for me, that is huge just because plants have had such an impact on my personal life in the last couple of years. They just allow me to take a minute from reality and from work. This brand was also super easy to want to work with just because I've been using their hair care products since I was in college when I first went natural in 2012, and I would use their hair conditioners for my pre-poos. But today I want to share with you guys Herbal Essences' new Potent Aloe collection that has aloe as the hero ingredient. And if you are anyone who knows about wanting to keep your hair nourished, you might know that aloe is a great ingredient for that. I personally use the bamboo and aloe products because they do wonders for keeping my curls hydrated underneath my crochet braids. The shampoo is great because it doesn't strip my hair of nutrients completely. It just keeps it clean, but my hair is still soft underneath, which is amazing, and I absolutely love it. It is sulfate free and color free. What's really amazing about this line is that it's not just taking care of my hair and keeping that nourished, but it's also looking out for the betterment of plants. Herbal Essences is the very first hair care line to have the aloe vera that they're using in their products certified by scientists from the Royal Botanic Gardens Kew. So big cheers to Herbal Essences for trying to improve the health of our hair while still maintaining the health of the plants around us and trying to source them as sustainably as possible. Definitely peep the link down in the description so you can check out all that this line has to offer and what may work best for your hair type. Again, thank you so much to Herbal Essences for sponsoring this video, and thank you to all of y'all for your love and support so that I'm able to work with brands and continue to provide content for you. This one is a gem. Look at her. This one is the watermelon variation, and it is so cute. And it has these kind of whimsical stems that are beautiful. You'll just want to keep it in a bright room, but in a shaded spot, so no direct sunlight, because again, these leaves are very fragile. And then follow those same rules we already talked about. This is a Monstera Deliciosa, and I'm pretty sure that means delicious monster, but I don't know. I have no idea. If that's accurate and you know that for a fact, let me know down below. This plant loves humidity, so if you have a humidifier or are able to mist the plant frequently or keep it near other plants, that's great. And also keeping it in bright, indirect light or filtered light, and that will let your baby thrive. All right, let's move on. Actually, BRB, I have to go get the plants, so pray for me as I get up. Do you want to watch? Do you want to see me try and get up? Let's do it. over here. Moving on to a very pretty plant that I think you guys are going to love. I forgot what it's called. Oh, I remember what it's called. And it's a Satin Pothos plant. Some people say pothos, some say pothos, whatever floats your bothos. And it's called Satin Pothos because to the touch, it's very soft and almost velvet looking. And this plant is thankfully very easy to care for. This plant does great in almost any condition, except for because this one has such beautiful variegation. If you do put it in a super low light setting, it will lose some of that and the leaves will become more just solid color. But if you wanted to keep this beautiful variegation, do put it in indirect sunlight. But yeah, she's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to put her down. Like, I don't want to put her down. I think I'm just gonna hold her this whole time. My little baby. So pretty. This plant I purchased, I believe, at Home Depot, which I don't know, she came a little janky and there's just a lot of browning going on in some areas, which may be a sign of it being overwatered, I believe, or underwatered, I don't know. But because it is a pothos, I believe it is going to be pretty simple to care for. I had one in New York and it was my favorite plant by far. I highly recommend this also as a beginner plant. It is going to love you no matter what love you give to it. Now let's talk about this snake plant. You guys have probably seen these before. They are also fairly popular, quite trendy, and it's for good reason. Nothing will be easier than this and the ZZ plant because it does not care what you say, what you do, how you look at it. It is going to thrive regardless, or let me not say thrive, it will survive regardless. Let's move on to the next one. Oh my gosh, come on, Kahuna. She's chunky. Oh, she's so pretty. Look at her. Okay, so this is my variegated rubber plant. I think it's known as a Ficus Tinkeke, but these can get between 1 foot to 8 feet tall, just depending on their conditions. These leaves are fairly thick and quite wide, so they do catch a lot of dust. I highly recommend dusting those down. I think I had to dust mine once a week, the one I had in New York, at least once every 2 weeks. That's more practical. I wasn't dusting once a week. But just so that that dust doesn't weigh down the leaves, and also wiping it off will allow your leaves to actually access more of the sunlight it needs. So this is just your standard green rubber plant. Also the leaves are very thick and wide and will need dusting frequently. I had one of these in New York, but for some reason the leaves were falling off frequently, and I think I actually read it was due to overwatering. So see, we're all capable. Does anyone ever get Mike Jones stuck in their head frequently? Chip.
Mike Jones.
I'm looking for a dime. That's top of the line. Cute face, slim waist with a big behind. I need a dime. Next is my Fiddle Leaf Fig plant, which I definitely am not carrying over here because she big, she thick, and she chunky. It is my first fiddle leaf, so to say that I'm not afraid would be a lie. I have heard horror stories about them, but then again, I've heard a lot of people say that it's really not that bad if you just pay attention. And these plants absolutely like bright, indirect light. I know I've said that a lot, but especially this plant. Once you find a good spot for your fiddle leaf that has bright, indirect light, that's kind of filtered if possible, leave it, leave it, leave it. It gets extremely dusty because its leaves are so large, so you're gonna wanna wipe those down fairly frequently. In my opinion, this plant is one of the best at communicating because if you're overwatering it, the soil will literally reek. it's a no. It does not want too much water. And I definitely try to use my water meter for this one. I totally forgot to bring up my water meter, but for larger plants, I use that so I can go all the way down to the root and see if the roots of the plant are dry or moist. And if the roots of this plant are moist, I just will give it space. If there are certain plants you don't want to stick your finger in, this water meter is amazing. I stand by it. Do not move that baby because there will be regrets. For my last two plants that I want to share with you guys, they are very similar. So I actually just have them side by side hanging together. The first one is this golden pothos. It is beautiful and it has really nice variegation because I do keep it near a window that gets a decent amount of filtered light. This plant is also a big talker. When it is thirsty and you maybe have neglected a little bit, its leaves will just start to like just droop, and it's not a cute moment. And then once you water them, within a day they'll perk back up and look fresh as new, which is amazing. Same with the Brazil heart philodendron. That one is also very chatty and very loyal. But these are beautiful plants, I think, for styling your home. So yeah, I think that was it for all of my plants. Okay, you guys, that is it for this video. I really hope that you found it helpful and are now inspired to take that next step and get your first or your 50th plant. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and if we are not already connected, why? We should be connected. Hit me up on IG, like this video, and subscribe. I love you so much. Please keep taking care of yourself, and you already know what you are. You know who you is. You the best, you the baddest. All right, have the best day. Bye. You ain't nothing but a baby. Hey, you ain't nothing but a baby. Hey.